Hello, this is Alice, and this is my channel, The Witch in the Glen. I am a psychic medium oracle and work with the energies to help you transmute stuff. This is called shadow work, when we intentionally transmute energies of lower vibrational attachments. So I really wanted to get into a reading where I am going to use my Mystique of Magdalene deck. The 22nd was Mary Magdalene's Saint Feast Day, 22nd of July. And she is very, very close to my heart, and I wanted to bring in some of that energy. She always is coming in for me because I do channel the Divine Feminine, and she is representative of that energy polarity. Let me turn on my air conditioning. Mary Magdalene, like many other feminine archetypes and goddesses throughout other cultures, is representative of one side of the binary polarity of life, i.e. she is representative of the feminine, the ultimate cosmic womb, the masculine being the spark in the womb. So we have these original different vibrational charges, and one is feminine, one we call feminine, one we call masculine, and they manifest in everything in our reality, down to microchemistry, down to atoms. This is like the original workings of the universe. So it's not just masculine and feminine. Those terms we're not using to connote gender, but they sometimes might match up with your conventional notions of gender, which are blueprints that are actually kind of moving out. Mary Magdalene was a twin flame. That is what these stories, this narrative of enlightenment via ultimate true love, is enlightenment and inheriting the earth. That is the ultimate ability and the ultimate result of the energy sphere of two of these polar charges that are completely intertwined and vibrating in a vibration of love. So that means that these two have to be completely complementary. And this is a blueprint of relationship that has been available to us for all time. But it has been really lost in our dense energies, in which the Divine Feminine has been victimized and taken advantage of for the energy of the womb space, the energy of the creation space that has to be available in order for the masculine to manifest. And this has been really lopsided for millennia. But we've always had available these codes, and that's where we get these teachers. And she was, because this is so powerful, the powers that be that want to control the population, delete and erase especially women from history. So she was cut out of the Bible. She was actually Jesus's wife and the mother of his daughter Sarah, and she was not a prostitute. She was actually from a wealthy family in which she was actually sent off to study the sacred arts of the Divine Feminine, of sexual tantra magic. And this has nothing to do with prostitution. It's about the basic creation of life and basic communion with spirit, or like the essential fundamental communion of spirit. And so she was sent off to study that in Egypt, and from a time of a little girl. So she was very powerful and very connected to spirit, and knew how to do transcendental meditation and all these really beautiful practices that gnostically connect you directly with God. And when Jesus came across her, they were instantly drawn to each other because they represented two perfect complements of frequency, of polarity, and that enabled them to energetically bind and create this light body that is, because it's in this very high vibrational state of love, this quantum level vibrational state, you get this logarithmic expansion of the capacity of the energies of the individual when you move into two quote unquote individuals who are merging their light bodies. So this is such a powerful thing that sometimes there is a wobble in that one or that both of these twins of these different polarities of souls, they come together, and then like magnets that are coming together with the poles, when they're the same poles, where they are pushed apart from each other. That's what can happen, where they are the exact match, but they, because of their karma that they haven't necessarily done, they have to separate in order to avoid radiation, which like literally, and of what can happen when you interact those two light bodies with each other before each is ready for the other. And this is a very, very holy, sacred blueprint for relationships, and we are moving into that in the age of Aquarius. We are moving into a time when this is going to be available to many more people, and many more twins are going to be able to come into union, because we are collectively rising in consciousness in this very escalated, fast pace since the past couple decades. So Mary Magdalene, it was her day yesterday, and I love her so we're going to use this beautiful deck, which I barely even like use and shuffle because I just find it to be so beautiful. This is Cheryl Yambrock Rose, her art, and she does several oracle decks that I'm just like in love with, because the art is just so beautiful, like the way she does the eyes and things like that. So I really recommend this deck, and I was so excited, like pre-ordered it a long time in advance because Mary Magdalene is so close to me. So, and I didn't even say, Jesus considered her to be his greatest teacher, and the disciples resented this close relationship with the woman, and so this was eventually sort of brushed under the rug, because they were actually jealous that he said that like he loved her better than them. So, or the disciples perceived that. So let's see what she has to say and bring her energy in. She really represents, like I said, the womb space of creation. She is the ultimate divine feminine power of like sacred sexuality, femininity, feminist, embodied feminist, embodied feminism, where the masculine and the feminine are in this complete equity with each other, and I say equity because they are both different. They're equal and opposite somehow. That's like the paradox, but they are equal and opposite, and that's why the expansion of the shared light body of these two is so super powerful, because you have to merge these beings that have equal and opposite charges. So you have to kind of invert and match their charges in a very intricate way. Two opposite puzzle pieces coming together. Kind of tricky. You have to use other dimensions to do it. Okay, Mary Magdalene, can you please be with us and let us know where the Divine Feminine, what message do you have for the Divine Feminine? Where are they in their journey? Where is the Divine Feminine in their journey? What can you tell us about the Divine Masculine vis-a-vis the Divine Feminine, and how these two are doing with regard to their energetic shared body that they are creating in the fifth dimension, but have not quite manifested in the third? What can you tell us about these relationships for the collective? What can you tell us about these relationships? Okay. Sensuality and secrets. It's interesting because I felt like, I was going to say that she is being pretty coy. She's being pretty quiet. This is really about that sacred sexuality that I'm talking about, that when there is a level of your vulnerability, which you are very, very select about who you share and open up vulnerably with, because the more vulnerable you are when you interact with somebody, the more they're able to energetically entangle with your energy. And if somebody is polarized in more of the masculine polarity, this means that they will be drawing on the energy of the feminine, and if it's not a balanced relationship, it doesn't come back. So this is sensuality and secrets, like coming into a place where your sacred sexuality and your relationship with spirit you can hold them on a very intimate level without and that feels almost like a sensual experience in and of itself, because of having these deep connections, vulnerable connections with God, with spirit, with the light body of your you and your significant other. It's a good idea to learn how to place boundaries around that, so that when you are in a twin flame union, you can be completely vulnerable with each other, but be delicate about who is drawing energy from the other, and be attuned to whether there's a balance. This says secret. So this is about, don't talk about your twin to everybody. Don't talk about your twin to other people. Don't talk about your light body to other people. They will not understand unless somebody has heard you say once something about twin flames, and then they have some kind of twin flame awakening themselves and want to come talk to you about it. This is just so over people's heads. Completely over their heads. This is over people's capacity to conceive of emotionally. This is like the twin flame connection is so deep and so powerful, and it's like you immediately imprint on each other and are completely binded for the rest of time. And more so, you realize you see them and you have this experience of like knowing that you have been bound for all of time. I'm seeing her right now. I'm looking at her red scarf on her head, which is depicted in all of these, and it is reminding me of this movie, What Dreams May Come, where with Robin Williams, and he goes into afterlife and he rescues his wife is killed in a car crash, and he goes through the bowels of hell to rescue her because he was killed in a car wreck. Excuse me. Okay, he was killed in a car wreck, and his wife, he goes to heaven, and his wife ends up dying of suicide because of what had happened. And so he actually has to go rescue her, go into the deep pits of hell to go rescue her from the despair that she was still in. And in this movie, there is like a very happy, poignant, beautiful ending where that shows that the two of them have always been connected in spirit and have been playing this game for eternity where they try to find each other in these lives. And there's a red scarf that kind of appears in all of the timelines. And so there's a scene at the end where there's like a red scarf, two little children boating on this beautiful lake in like Switzerland or something. And there's a red scarf that flies off the little girl, and the little boy picks it up. And so it's like this, this vision of like this reincarnation, this rebirth of this union. Ooh. So that was a lot of fear that just came up. So here's what's different about this now with the level of consciousness that is accessible. And it has always been accessible, but it is mystery school secret stuff that this is like a possibility to actually transcend your consciousness and then remain in the 3D without actually having to die, having your body expire, without having to have even an aging experience. If you were able to become fully enlightened, and I'm not sure that it's not just that the twin flames can make this happen, because the two of them share their emotional body in such a way that they generate their own energy between them, and so they don't have to rely on any energy outside of the source energy generated within the woman that is ignited by the masculine. And so there are stories where, Jesus was martyred, like the masculine is often martyred. Osiris dies. Osiris and Isis were twins, twin flames, twin souls, equal and opposite polarities of vibration. And there is this sense of sorrow with these stories, though, because it ends with the martyrdom of the divine masculine. And this is where there's actually been a faulty blueprint of the divine masculine for millennia, where the love that the masculine has been enacting or accessing when they start to enter into these deep unions with their twin, there is this pattern, this schema, where the masculines feel like they need to self-sacrifice in order to show or prove or justify the love that they are experiencing from the feminine. And this is something that is powerfully needs to be overcome. I mean, it's like the lessons that we get from Mary Magdalene and Jesus, from Osiris and Isis. Isis knew this, and Mary Magdalene knew this, that they could use their sacred sexuality to enter into heaven on earth, the kingdom of God on earth, without actually having to die and reincarnate again. So it's this realization of like your soul has been through enough reincarnations that it is accessible to be able to access these high levels of consciousness and come into possibly a twin flame union in order to ascend this reality. So sensuality and secrets, this is something that people will not understand. This is so rare, and we don't have language to explain, to describe the twin flame feeling, the experience of meeting or coming into contact with your twin. It is undeniable, and you can't ever, it is implicit that you will not ever be able to, or want to, you will never want to or be able to, you couldn't conceive of letting go of or destroying this connection with this other person, because they are literally your other half, the other original charge in the galaxy, in the universe, the charge that created the Big Bang. That was him, and you were there to witness it, and you are therefore in the feminine and he's in the masculine, and you will never be unentangled with each other. The one of you cannot exist without the other, and you are complete divine complements, yin and yang. That's what that's talking about. It's the same thing, complementary energy, Shiva, Shakti, these original source energies. It doesn't mean you have to be so cagey, but it can really hurt your manifestation if you are exposed to people who are not buying into, or not believing, or who are stomping all over, or talking about your dreams, your your world, talking about your beliefs in a way that is detracting from them, rather than helping you to manifest. And people are not going to understand the twin flame thing, and you probably won't. None of us understands it until it actually happens, and then many of us, most people, I think, don't even know that that's what it is, don't have that language, and including, you don't, there's just no way to talk about it, and you might not have even heard of the term twin flames, or ever conceived of something like this being possible. So it is very treasure it, and as long as you are in separation, you hold on to and go into that part of your soul that knows that the other, whether it's emotional separation or physical separation, that knows that you are two parts of the whole, that has that faith. Holding the seeds of fertility. So there you go. She's holding a pomegranate, which is the symbol of fertility. It's conceived of as being maybe the fruit from the tree of knowledge. Instead of an apple, it was the pomegranate, and which is the fruit of the gods, and it has all these little seeds surrounded by little gelatinous, almost like there are all these little fruits inside the pomegranate. So this represents the burgeoning, the energy. It corresponds to the energy of consciousness being this multifaceted and beautiful confluence of all these different energies. So Mary Magdalene here, holding the pomegranate from the tree of knowledge, and she is in the energy, of course, of Eve here when she eats from that tree. And so this is holding the seeds of fertility. This is like the feminine opening up to the relationship with the divine masculine, where he can access the fertility that is in her for manifestation, for soul magic, for creating heaven on earth. This is not like anything dark. This is not what I would call black magic. None of this is related to that. This is like a holy this holy thing. And here it's like this beautiful form of fertility, and it could be like physical fertility, but also just fertility of manifestation on behalf of the two in the union. Queen of the Sun. Nothing is lost that cannot be found. Okay, so I want to see who this is, because Queen of the Sun. Okay, this is Isis. So this is goddess Isis, who I was talking about a minute ago. Her twin being Osiris, who also self-sacrificed and was martyred, basically. And I'm saying self-sacrifice because these people didn't have to die. They manifested that. These masculines, they manifested, instead of being vulnerable to the feminine and accepting and allowing there to be a merging of the two energies such that they can directly connect with source energy. The masculines end up manifesting lower vibrational stuff and dying. And that is the story of Jesus. That is the story of Isis and Osiris. Osiris dies, and Isis builds pyramids to bring him back to life, stages these energetic portals to bring the energy of Osiris back to life, to reincarnate him within this life. So there was very magical practices being practiced in ancient Egypt. Nothing is lost that cannot be found. The masculine, in spite of the fact that they have continually self-sacrificed over and over again and made it so that the divine feminine had to either find them or be discovered in another lifetime, over and over and over and over again, this is coming to an end. And because those blueprints of relationships are moving out of our consciousness, like in this beautiful way where it's like, you know what, we don't want to choose that anymore. And having the sovereignty to choose which lives we're going into and which stories that our soul is experiencing. Queen of the Sun, Isis, nothing is lost that cannot be found. So she was devoted to this idea of reincarnating her twin and twin flame and her love, Osiris. So this is, Mary Magdalene being the one who really holds the soul and the light body of the relationship. She is the one who connects with source. She is the one who holds the pomegranate. And here she is sacred in the way that she holds the divine masculine and those energies, and the way that she is tender with her own femininity, her own vulnerability, is contributing to energetic patterns within the vibrational field that are the right way that two should interact with each other, where there's like the ability of the soul to be vulnerable is going to be expressed between the couple too. So everything that the feminine is working on is mirrored in the masculine, and it will be mirrored in the relationship. So if she's doing work on her fertility, if she's doing work on her like manifestation, fertility, womb space energetically, if she is doing shadow work and learning how to hold sacred the sensuality and the sexuality between the two in the type of energetic relationship with the twin flames, this is gosh, I don't remember what I was going to say, but this is about the feminine journey. This is really about the feminine journey. And Mary Magdalene was Jesus's greatest teacher, and I think that is just extraordinarily beautiful, and the intimacy that was shared between them. Many women connect deeply with the energy of Mary Magdalene, which might come in. You might have it come in if you have a twin flame awakening, or this is one of the strong energies, especially if you already have a Judeo-Christian kind of sacred or secular background. So I would like to thank Mary Magdalene for joining us. This is a very special holy day of the year. I was going to do this reading last night, and just it felt like she was saying to just like meditate on the energy and take some time with her. And I am very appreciative of this reading and what we learned here today. I love all of you, and I will see you in the next reading. Subscribe and like this video. Thanks.